All right, guys, so here we are. The first day we're going to take notes at home and work on homework in class. This is a pretty easy one to start with. Remember, when you get in class, get these notes out, have them on your desk. After I take roll, I'm going to walk around and check. It might make it a little easier for me, guys, if you put a little star up here at the top right corner. It might help me tell who's done it a little bit quicker. Remember, this is worth 20 points, so make sure and fill these out. As we're going through, if you really want this to work well, you might try to do some of the problems by yourself. So maybe you pause for a second and try it out. I know you don't all have calculators at home, but a lot of the stuff we're doing, you can use your phone calculators. Just copying it down is not any better than just coming in and copying down the notes. So we're going to start with an equilateral triangle. We've seen a lot of these. I know the equilateral triangle, when I draw the radius and the apothem, it forms a 30, 60, 90 triangle that looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put in my special right triangle markings on this one. I know that across from 60 is x, square roots of 3. Across from 30 is x. And across from the 90-degree angle, the hypotenuse is 2x. Well, it's nice this time. They gave me the radius, so I know that 2x equals 14. If I divide both sides by 2, I get that x, or the apothem, is actually 7. Then I fill out the other side. Since x is 7, I know that x square roots of 3 must be 7 square roots of 3. But that's only half a side length, so I need to double it, and I find out that my side length is 14 square roots of 3. So my area formula is 1/2 perimeter times apothem. So I need the apothem and I need the perimeter. The apothem we already found, it's 7. And we basically have the perimeter. I know one side's 14 square roots of 3. We've got 3 sides, so I got the perimeter is 42 square roots of 3. So we've got everything we need. Now I just need to plug it in. Area is equal to 1/2 of 7 times 42 square roots of 3. Now be careful when you plug it into your calculator. Remember that half only happens once. When I put it in my calculator, I did 1/2 times 7 times 42. I got 147, but of course that square root of 3 is tacked onto the end. Now it's inches, so that would be inches squared. Now we've done a lot of those. That was starting kind of from the easy side, so do your best. Let's move on to the next one. We've got the square here. A square, when you have the apothem and radius, breaks down into a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So I'm going to fill this out. In a 45, 45, 90, the legs are both x values, and the hypotenuse is x square roots of 2. Now, this is probably the toughest one today because they gave us the x square roots of 2 side, and it's a whole number. Now, guys, there is a trick to this, and if you remember it, that's what I want you to do. However, we can solve this algebraically. I know that x square roots of 2 equals 6. To solve for x, I divide by the square root of 2 on both sides. Then you get x is equal to 6 over the square root of 2. We've seen this a lot. Then to get rid of that radical in the denominator, I multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, and I get 6 square roots of 2 over 2. And when I simplify, I get 3 square roots of 2. Sorry, I almost put the wrong number in there. So I now know that x is 3 square roots of 2, which means that this is also 3 square roots of 2. Now, if that's half a side length, I know that a whole side length is 6 square roots of 2. So we pretty much have every piece we need. I need the apothem. That was 3 square roots of 2. And I need the perimeter. Now, be careful when we're mixing these together because last time we had 3 sides. This time we have 4. 6 square roots of 2 times 4 gives me a perimeter of 24 square roots of 2. Now notice that both our apothem and perimeter have that square root of 2. Let's see what happens when we work this out. So I have area equals 1/2 of 3 square roots of 2 times 24 square roots of 2. I'm going to go ahead and leave the half out here in front for a minute. I'm going to do 3 times 24. That gives me 72. But now I have the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, which is 2, okay? Now, if you know, 1/2 times 2 cancels each other out, which gives me my area of 72, and that was centimeters squared. So, guys, this square root of 2 business over here is probably the hardest part. We've done it a lot. If you're still having troubles, make sure and let me know. And then the last one we're going to do is the hexagon. Again, we need the apothem, and the perimeter. And lucky for us, they gave us a side length of 10. That means the perimeter to be 6 times 10, so we'd get 60. But I still need the apothem. Well, remember, this section right here is that cut in half, and we have another special right triangle here. This time, though, the 60 degrees on the bottom, the 30 degrees on the top. So I'm going to fill this out real quick. The hypotenuse, or the radius, is still the 2x. The across from 30 is the x value, and the across from 60 is the x square roots of 3. Now, since they told us the side length is 10, that means half of that is 5, so x equals 5. Since x is 5, I know x square roots of 3, the apothem must be 5 square roots of 3. So I've got a as 5 square roots of 3. Now I can plug that in and finish it off. A equals 1/2 of 5 square roots of 3 times 60. 5 times 60 is 300. Half of 300 would give me 150 square roots of 3, and it looks like we've got millimeters squared. So guys, that's pretty much every type of problem you can see. We had one where we had to solve with the radical, a couple where we just had to figure some things out. So be careful, go slow, and watch your calculator when you do stuff like this. The last one, you do not have to draw a picture on this one, but if you're not sure what to do, a picture sure does help because I can give you a couple of points. So it says we've got a regular hexagon whose area is 384 square roots of 3, and it says inches squared. It says if the length of the apothem, so I know A, is 8 square roots of 3 inches, what is the length of each side of the hexagon? So we're going to need to plug this into our equation and then solve so we can find the length of each side. So I know that area is 384 square roots of 3. I know that that equals 1/2 of the apothem, which is 8 square roots of 3, times the perimeter, which we don't know, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and fix some of this because I know what 1/2 of 8 is. So 384 square roots of 3 is actually equal to 4 square roots of 3, and I'm just going to put P. Then to solve for P, I divide both sides by 4 square roots of 3. Now this works out pretty nice because now over here I just have P. The square roots of 3 cancel out, and that gives me 96. So the perimeter is 96, but guys, it didn't ask for the perimeter. It asked for the length of each side. Since there are 6 sides, I divide that by 6, and I get that each side is actually 16 inches. So guys, that's the first one. I hope that worked out. You can attempt to do your homework. If you're having any problems, that's what we do during class. And if you have questions about any of these problems, put a little symbol by it, and we can definitely talk about it in class. Good luck.